Prosperity podcast. Today, we are talking to one gentleman who dreamt about doing something just 6 months back or 7 months back when I met him in last November. After that, the dreams, what he was talking about, made it real. And today, the dreamer is with us, and he will be talking about all his experiences in making things possible in 7 months. Welcome as Callum Aston.
Thanks, Deepak. It's very, very good to be on your show. Thank you for having me. And thank you for all the viewers. Feel free to call me Ash.
Thank you, Ash. With that, Ash, 2020 November, December timeframe when we met, there was a dream. And today, after 160th day now,
160 today, correct.
Today, yeah. So, what's happening? What was cooking? What has been cooked?
Yeah, so when we first met, I remember it was at the Perth Town Hall, and we sat next to each other at a regional showcase, and we're talking about all different bits and bobs and what we do and what we want to do. And I remember sharing with you that I wanted to create some sort of property construction technology hub where businesses in that space could work and collaborate together and then connect to industry through each other's relationships. And it was great. In that week, which we went to, which was West Tech Festival, I formed another partnership, and we found the space, and then we put it together. So it really began in the kitchen breakout area at level 2, 110 William Street, and I convinced everyone to come with beers and pizza. And I said, look, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be property. It's going to be construction technology. We're going to connect to industry. Who's in? Who wants to do it? And there was about 21 people in the room, and half said, "Yep, we're in. We want to join." I thought, okay, that's enough. And then we were planning on opening on the 1st of February, and 1st of February was our first lockdown day, our COVID lockdown day. So we pushed it back 1 week, and since then, it's been 160 days, and what we have achieved in those 160 days, and I say we because there's so many people helping and contributing to making it something. It's absolutely amazing.
So you are the general manager now, and what was the journey been? Right, it was
So general manager, I guess there needed to be someone that had manager in the title, but it's very glorified. I open and close the doors and then tick along during the day and talk to a lot of people and see what they do and what their dreams are and their business and how they're going to make it. And I love it. So within 80 days, 100% occupancy, so all of our full-time desks. Then we now have over 50 members that are part-time that can come in, utilise the space when they want, have the CBD address and come to our events. Our first event was our launch. That was Proptech Showcase. That was in February. The Lord Mayor of City of Perth, Basil Zemplis, cut the ribbon and opened that up for us. And then we had 8 prop techs all sharing what they're doing to an audience of over 100 people. And it was amazing. And then from there, things just they just took off. It's great. Now, our foundation partners are Rewa, Levan, BDO, and 65 Bits. And our major sponsors, we're very happy to announce Commonwealth Bank and Move Homes. And not too far away, actually, next week we'll be announcing another major sponsor, and potentially another one 2 weeks after that. So it's great. And government and industry have actually really came on board and signed up as members and are interacting with the startup. So we're doing what we wanted to do already in 160 days.
Right. Yeah, it was not a small thing, and I've seen a couple of things which you did and been part of some of them and enjoyed being there. The other thing which I wanted to ask Ash is, um, when we look at it, what actually you're doing at PropTech? Like, I may know it, or only few people may know it. So, what actually you do at PropTech, and why they should come to PropTech?
Yeah, so essentially, like the property and technology companies, they come here because they can work and collaborate with like-minded people and have their meetings and share contacts and that. And then we're supporting them by putting on these big events, these big draw card events that industry and government are interested to attend. And we then put them in the room, which means the startups have that opportunity to talk to general managers, directors, sales managers at these bigger organizations and swap cards, and then have a meeting and then see if there's value in the startup's proposition for that big company. It could be a trial, it could be a small order, and then things can grow. So without us being here, without us as an entity creating that connection, how would it happen? The startup would have to ring a bunch of people, email a bunch of people, do a lot of meetings, and it's really hard connection rather than come to an event and have a soft connection. The person knows who you are, you get an opportunity to really share what you do, and you'll know instantly and they'll know instantly if there's something there, and if there is, it's perfect. You can do something. So you've got these big organizations. For them to have their own research and development department is costly, but they can come here and they can see the next of our industry and just tip their toe in and just do a small order, do a trial where it's not costing them too much. And if it works, bang, they can pull it into their organization. And that's why industry turns up.
Oh, cool. And do you have any case studies without naming the companies? Because you would have not taken any permission from anyone. Without
Yeah.
naming companies, are there any case studies which you would like to share?
Well, absolutely. One organization joined us. The next week, they did over a $5,000 order. So that was a real tick on their box. There's definitely others. There's two groups that have done a joint venture together, and they're building something that's worth over 250,000, which I think is really fantastic. One company is doing a trial with a builder, which is all looking really good at the moment. I believe that's gonna go. And then we have two organisations. One was in the process of raising capital, and then the other is still in it. The one that finished raising capital, by having Proptech Hub and the network there and pictures and imagery and video and all of that stuff, it showed a trajectory of them taking action and activity. And from that, it helped them close their round. So it was really just right time, right place. And they came in and really took advantage of the opportunity that they have here. And it's worked really, really well for them. And then I guess the other case studies is the events and the working and meetings and stuff that they have here. They've been able to take photos, take videos, add it to their social media. So they've had actual value where they can connect to their followers and their community as well. I guess just the simple case study is that I'd say all of our businesses have pretty much come from home, and this is their first office space. And it can be something as super simple, and this happens every day, is they get to use our address and mail their mail or on their website or on their business cards or whatever, and they don't have to use their home address, which can be a really big thing for a startup. Another case study is that they can invite people in here and use the meeting rooms, and they do that regularly. They use a Wizard app to book their meeting rooms, and then they do that. And what that means is they don't have to take people to a coffee shop because they don't have an office at home. They can do it here, and they can make coffee or serve water that's here. So it can be just that very small, simple stuff as a case study, and then it can be the big thing where someone comes in, a member, and has a $5,000 order the next week, which is pretty good, you know.
Yeah. Being an entrepreneur is not an easy task, and you've been there, and especially in the market, which though we talk about it's a $3 billion market, right? $6 billion market, but then we have never gotten too much into it. What are some of the challenges you have gone through as an entrepreneur to be today, for the people, those who are thinking to be an entrepreneur or to be in the Proptech? So some of the things
Yep.
we can learn from.
I think probably the hardest thing is getting people to believe in you. You know, when you're trying to sell yourself or sell an idea, and people don't really know you because you've just sort of met. Yeah, you know, it can be quite challenging. So it's sort of, you need to do soft and small approaches. So everything that we've achieved here at the hub has most likely been written on a piece of paper with a box next to it, and I've had to tick it off at some point. You know, it hasn't been from there to here without anything. It's just these really small things that you just need to tick off, tick off, tick off, tick off. So when I open the door at 9 o'clock in the morning and then I close the door in the afternoon, all I do during the day is tick boxes. You know, there's nothing sexy about it. You know, there's nothing magical about it. Entrepreneurial lessons, though, I would really, it goes back to that small stuff. Is just, if you're pitching and you're trying to sell, I would really recommend doing something small, having a small ask from someone. So, you know, it could be not the big order that you need, but it could be 5%. And then you get that 5% order, you prove that you can do it, and then next time you ask for a 15 or a 20% order, you know, and then you just keep building and building and building. I really think it's a big lesson. A lot of entrepreneurs come in here and they've got massive dreams. The first thing that they say is that they want to be, you know, $1 billion company, and there's $1 billion market and all that sort of stuff. And I say, just focus on the next sale and get that one.
That's really key for any entrepreneur when they're starting up. Being nimble, focused, committed, and trying to make things possible. And first, the important thing what you spoke about is believing in oneself and making someone else to believe on you. That's key takeaway for me. Now, slowly, when you picked up this journey, uh, what do you think about Perth Market? Like Perth Market, we always talk about very conservative or being, uh, they look at things in a different way, not that open for these type of ideas. So how did you get through that?
I guess the market's really interesting. So in Perth, when we opened the doors, it was a 21% vacancy rate for corporate office space. And this was after a COVID trend of working from home. And employers and employees understood that working from home can be just as efficient, and employees want to do it as well. Which is taking the demand off that office space. It's not increasing, it's actually. So even though our economy is doing well and doing better, it still doesn't resemble to the office space in the CBD. So it's gone down from over 20 to now 19%, which is good, but we've got a long way to go. We're a lot further away than we are in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. So I really see the market trend is going to be co-working, co-sharing space. And it might be not a co-working hub. It might just be 2 or 3 or 4 organisations using one space and sharing it up between one another, rather than taking on a lease to themselves. So I see the commercial office space getting shared between parties, or between masses of parties. So we've got level 2. We can easily grow to the whole building, which is 5 levels. And there's a lot of businesses in there. So we can do that over the next 2 to 3 years, where people can come in, work from an office, do the meetings that they need to do in the city, and then go home and finish off work there. They don't have to go in the next day if it's not important. They can work from home, but the next day they might need to go into the morning to do a workshop or talk to some staff and have a meeting or whatnot. So the office space, I believe the market trend is definitely changing. I think what we've got here is trying to get in front of that change before it hits really hard, and providing the opportunities for businesses to easily transition when they need to.
That was one more point which I wanted to raise. When people have started moving out of the central business district, you are trying to attract people into the central business district, and people are coming to work in the office and working from the office, the contrary for the way things are working. So that's something which is very key. And you say you're sold out and full occupancy. That talks a lot about the hard work which has gone behind it, and it is not easy. And with that said, what are the opportunities or the categories the property PropTech Hub is having, in which are the areas you are trying to work on, the different categories, and also how are you supporting innovation?
Yeah, so the categories are, I'll bring it up. Now, if I say this enough, eventually I'll remember it off by heart, but I'm not there yet. So I've got to, I've got, because there's so many. So PropTech can be split into so many different areas. And I get the question a lot. So what's PropTech? And sometimes people confuse prop as in like acting, or like a prop on a stage, or something like that. But when I explain no, prop means property technology, they're like, oh, okay, I'm following now. And then obviously construction, building is a part of that property. So property is Australia's largest employer and largest industry, which some people aren't really aware of. It's over $8 trillion now of value. And yeah, we really do rely on it as an employer. So the categories is it sometimes overlaps, which is okay, because then a prop tech can be in 2 categories, and it's, there's not enough data behind it to say, if you're in one category and you just stick to your lane, are you going to do better? Or if you're in multiple categories and you can service more of property and construction technology market, will you do better? So it's prop tech is still a pretty fresh thing. But anyway, the categories: property search, listings, and marketplaces. So that's how we categorize one. So we have almost most of our members are in that space. Property management. So this can be residential, commercial. Building technology. So this is actually helping the builders build homes or build commercial property. Exchanges, finance, mortgage, settlement, and post-transaction. So we've got a really good member that allows 2 parties to buy property online. Another category is virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things. So that's sort of all in one sort of space. Data and analytics is another. CRM marketing, another. Short-term rentals, another. People to people, another one. Spatial mapping. So we have one that's using spatial mapping for emergency responders. Really cool, and infrastructure. Another one where it's determining what rooms get utilised in infrastructure, and then decision makers can repurpose. And then another one's business to business or business to government. And then our final category that we have is safety. And we have one Proptech in safety that you can put the goggles on, and then you can use your hands, and that links in with someone in an office somewhere. So you can be out on site. The person in the office can read the manual or what you should be doing, and then that person just does the physical work, or the checks, or can be on the phone, or can be taking pictures or whatever. So they're sort of the categories, and then we work on, when people come through the doors, we can kind of figure out where they are, and then how we can help them connect to the industry that's relevant to them. Marketplace of some sort. We've got one marketplace that's exceptional. It's just for social housing, and they pivoted a little bit when the bushfires were on. So people that were losing their houses in the bushfires could find the short-term rental utilised in the online marketplace. Stuff like that can touch your heart, and it's just great to know that it exists, really. We really do have some special stuff here. It's great.
Right. So how do you support innovation? What is, if suppose I plan to come to Hub and sit there, how do you think you would help in my innovation?
Yeah, cool. So heaps to do. So our foundation partners are really good training and education tool that come in on a quarterly basis. So we could slot you in then if you needed to know some more stuff about accounting or IP law or contract law or whatever, or tech. We can get it quoted for you if you're not the techie in the company. Then ballpark where you are, and help assess other tech quotes, so then you don't get ripped off. So there is that. General chats like who is your client, and then who's your secondary client. So understanding that you do have innovation, but how are you going to sell it? How are you going to pay your expenses? And then how are you going to make a profit and pay back all of those late nights that you put into it? So there's that. But it's more about not just that innovation. People will develop themselves in time. Building the support network around them where people can collaborate and do stuff is important, but showcasing it. And we've got several events a year where people can showcase. And then even on our non-events, people can put stuff up on the table where the audience there and get them to trial it. They also can come for free and into the Proptech zone at Perth Home Builders Expo and at Southwest Home Builders Expo. So now they can check their innovation or their idea with community. So not just industry, but community, and they can do that for free. Then they can understand more about their innovation from feedback, and then they can adjust if they need to, or just start selling it, or in some cases start making it.
Yeah. You mentioned about the events. So what are the events from now till end of the year? Except I think there will be a Christmas party which I would be invited, but then other than that, what is that you have in the cards?
Well, actually next week it started off as a Christmas in July, let's just come and have some fun, to having the Shadow Treasurer officially open the event with the Executive Director of HIA, GM of Combank, Manager of Land Services WA, and partnerships of open negotiation, all coming to do some presentations for everyone and sharing some stuff, with perhaps some Christmas goodies to give away. Santa or his helper may arrive. I can't say anything more than that. But yeah, so that's a good one. You know, we're always trying to do some fun. But the month after that is Proptech in Gov. So that's bringing in government and agencies, industry and innovators working in teams over a couple of days, and yeah, working on Proptech, implementing it into government. How hard is it once you implement it? What does it look like in 12 months, in 24 months, etc.? Presenting it, and the Innovation Minister is actually coming to announce the winner, and it's getting officially opened by the Deputy Mayor of City of Perth, which we are so grateful for everyone that's involved that's coming. From there, in September on the 3rd, we have a pitch. So people that are ready to start getting some angel investors, Series A, maybe some early stage capital. We'll have presentations on the day, live streamed around Australia and overseas, and then we'll have some of the local investors to come along, and that will allow the presenters to sharpen up their pitch deck, hopefully get some coin, and actually industry can come to this and say, we might not just leave it to the investors this time, we might pick up one of these deals, keep it to ourselves and not let our competitors get it. So yeah, so I think that's going to happen. Then there's another exciting thing that we're working the logistics out. I really hope it happens. It's going to be the regional road show. We're going to hire a bus with a trailer to put everybody's gear in the back, and we're going to go down to the towns of the southwest, dropping in at different community and business events, sharing what Proptech's all about. So that'll be fun. And then we have West Tech Festival. So it'll be 1 year since we met when that happens again. And we'll be having a Proptech event in West Tech Festival. I'm pretty sure I can announce that, hopefully, or someone's going to tell me off. I'll get a nasty phone call tomorrow and be like, oh, what did you do? But they've got to have us in now, don't they? Hey? So that's good. So we're going to do an event there. We're sort of figuring out what style of the event is. We're pretty sure we know. I think it's going to get a really good crowd because there's some stuff in it where the whole audience actually gets to participate in the event and get value from the event, which I think is really, really important, rather than just coming to an event and watching. It's actually coming and doing. And then we'll finish off with our Christmas gala. So everyone can come to that and have some drinks and nibbles, probably do some presentations, have someone open and give away some awards. And then I'm on holidays. Oh. That's the big event. Hey, I think that's enough, right? I think if I can tick all those boxes, then I deserve a holiday.
Yeah. I think in between, I think you missed one, which is Perth Home Builders Expo. That's happening in September. So.
Yep, 18th of September. That's going to be awesome. So all the Proptechs, they have their zone. They can go in, share what they're doing. Then we'll have suppliers, lenders, land developers, builders. We've got a couple of our Proptechs having their own zone, doing it up really nice, which is really cool. Some food trucks, show bags, 100 show bags to give away at the beginning, and then live entertainment in the afternoon. And then I guess I can say at the end, general public, close to general public, and it will turn into a bit of an industry sundowner, and there'll be some presenters that can share a little bit and have some drinks and nibbles and do some networking, and that's what it is. It's always about connecting innovation to industry.
Yeah, cool. So with all these things, I think you have a busy next 6 months, and wish you all the best for all that you're doing for the PropTech in Western Australia, and also helping bridging the innovators and the industry. With
Yes,
that,
mate.
come to the last section. You want to give a call to all our viewers and say something to our viewers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully you haven't fallen asleep. I appreciate you watching this video, learning a little bit more about what we're doing at Proptech Hub. You are so welcome to drop by, so welcome to come to any of our events. If they're paid events, you can use the code word DPAC and that will give you free entry. All right, thank you very much for watching.